Welcome to the NQ80 Daily. Today, I'm Ed here with Isabel from Talk About United. How's it going?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. You're our mole on the inside in Liverpool, taking it down from the inside out, something like that. Today, we're going to talk about Luke Shaw and Leny Yoro. So compare and contrast, because Shaw, yet another injury, and you feel like the club just going to have to say, we love you, but goodbye. And Leny Yoro made his debut against Arsenal. Obviously, we saw him pre-season, but made his full debut, pretty positive, I thought. And so, contrasting fortunes. So, how do you feel when the Luke Shaw is injured again news came out?
Do you know what? I just wasn't surprised. It's so typical. I feel like Luke Shaw should have just gone in the summer. And I think when a player's been out for a season, and we already knew as well, with Malacia being out as well, we knew we needed a new left back. And the fact that it didn't get sorted in the summer was annoying. And I do understand that they thought Luke Shaw would be fit, but you just can't really take them risks, I don't think. You really do need a backup, and obviously Malacia is now, back and running, but Luke Shaw he's got to go for me.
Yeah, I feel really conflicted because, I mean, he seems like a nice chap. He's been in the club a long time. He just seems like horrendously unlucky. The leg break seems to have had consequences for near on a decade now. I assume that's it, and that's why he just gets all these muscle injuries all the time and hamstring twang and all that kind of stuff. And so I feel really sorry for him, but he's of zero value to the club when he's just injured all the time. And he was absolutely brilliant the season before last. Just fantastic season. He was mostly fit as well. But then last season, obviously, complete waste of time, injured pretty much all season, got fit for the Euros final and then got injured again in pre-season. And you're just like, and then he's back for 2 sub appearances and injured again. And I think everyone was just like, get the screens out, you put the horse down sort of thing. It's like, it's sad and frustrating.
No, that's it, isn't it? I don't think there's a Man United fan who doesn't like Luke Shaw. I think we all like him and appreciate that he is a good player, but I think it just gets to a point where you just can't be holding on to these players who were good at one point, but not that he's not good anymore, but, we've not seen him play for a season, so we can't, it's kind of the same with Rashford as well. We're holding on to this player who was really good once, but now it's kind of fizzling out, and I don't see the point. I think it is time for him to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got a year and a half left on his contract, so it might be a decision about letting him go on a free. If that was the case, they might have to make room in the squad, make a choice about Tyrell Malacia as well. They've got the option on Alvaro Fernandez to bring him back from Benfica if they want to. He's had a really good season there. And then I noticed in the press a lot of speculation about Alphonso Davies, the left back from Bayern Munich, Canadian, a really brilliant attacking player. You'd kind of imagine he'd fit perfectly into Amorim's side. He's out of contract in the summer. Everyone just assumed he was going to join Real Madrid. I'd take him in a heartbeat if he was willing.
Oh, I would, yeah.
So,
he's great.
Yeah.
He would fit in so perfectly to Manchester United, I think. He's great. I'd love to see Davies at United. Will it happen? I don't know. Is it just another rumour? But do you know what? It's a good rumour, so I can't complain.
Well, it's not like United aren't willing to pay the wages. He wants apparently 16 million euros a year. That sort of Rashford, Casemiro wages-ish. Mm-hmm. Don't know what the signing on fee would be. It'd be hefty, but no bigger than a transfer fee. So, and then Milos Kerkeres at Bournemouth. I don't know, saw him in the game the other night. He was absolutely fantastic. Right. He's had a really good season. It was good last season as well. There's speculation about him. Hungarian.
Yeah.
So I like the look of him a lot. Obviously, Tom, the listeners will know, he's half Hungarian. He follows him closely. And then the other one I saw speculation was Theo Hernandez, Milan left back. I don't know, I like him better than his brother, but thoughts on either of those, any of those?
Well, do you know what? I'm just happy that we're actually looking at players this early on, because the likelihood is not going to happen in January, but summer-wise, like I've just said, we need to be replacing Luke Shaw. We need a new left back. And these rumors are great. I want these rumors to happen, so I'm happy that it's being spoken about now, and that hopefully, the club will do something about it in the summer.
Yeah, they can't not. I mean, now everyone's in place. This kind of idea that you can keep on waiting for perennially injured players to suddenly miraculously get fit and stay fit is like, it's such a weak spot consistently playing a right back at left back. So I imagine something will happen there in the summer. Leny Yoro, let's spend a bit more time on him. He made his debut against Arsenal. What were your thoughts about that game?
Yeah, I mean, as a whole, the game, I mean, we just said it was a bit disappointing. I think it's kind of typical how, we score from, we could see from 2 corners. But do you know what? It's something that needs to be worked on. And I think we've known set pieces, need to be worked on as taking the set pieces, but also defending from the set pieces. So it's just something. And obviously we've drew Arsenal, was it FA Cup? Can't remember which round, 3rd round, is it?
3rd round, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's something to look forward to, and hopefully we can be better in that match. But obviously Yoro coming on, making his debut, thought he looked pretty good. I think he had like 100% aerial duels won, which, is really good, because I think that is something that we struggle with at Manchester United sometimes, is kind of defending in the air. And we just need, I think he's a good player. I think he's going to fit in quite nicely.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have a bad injury record before this, and apparently they knew that his metatarsal could well break anyway, if this metatarsal. So it is a bit odd that they kind of, this is going to break. All right, well, we'll do it anyway. But yeah, he shows some of the glimpses that we saw in the summer, right? He's super quick. He made that great tackle on Gabriel Martinelli, where you're like, oh God, time this right. Absolutely perfect. He still played the right side of the back 3. I suspect that would be where they'd deploy him, I guess. Maybe not every game from now on in, but because he's 19 or whatever. And his passing range is all right. Maybe not brilliant, but all right. I think we saw that a bit in the summer too. Like, looks like a good player, doesn't he? And Ruben Amorim's talked about him a lot already.
Yeah, he's definitely a confident young player, which I think is, something that is kind of vital to a team. I think having these young players are good. Obviously, we've seen it in Manu, Garnacho. I think I like the confidence, from a young player. And look, I think he's really good. I think obviously, it's going to be working him into this team, and will Amorim use him, every single match? I don't know. He's still kind of figuring out this team, but definitely getting Yoro into this team, I think, is important, because we bought him in the summer. Let's work him in. And I think he's definitely got a place in this team. But I'm excited to see more of him, definitely, because obviously we haven't seen too much of him yet. A little bit in pre-season, and then just that little Arsenal kind of debut. But I do think he'll start tomorrow. I don't know. Do you?
Yeah. I mean, maybe could be. He's not had a lot of minutes. I'm not sure that we know what Amorim's philosophy is on giving players minutes, but he clearly wants to protect them because he's used so many in these 4 games. At some point, I'd kind of like him to settle down, and you don't have to play the same 11 every game, because there's a lot of games, and United, if we're successful this season, might play 60 games or something like that. Although it's 2 tough away games in the EFL Cup and the FA Cup, so who knows. But everyone will get minutes, and he wants to protect them. But don't we need to make 6 changes a game? I don't know. I feel uncomfortable with that. But hey, he's paid the big bucks, not me. But I'm sure Leny Yoro will get a lot of minutes. He won't play every game because we got quite a few defenders. Interesting that Harry Maguire came back and was pretty good against Arsenal, I thought. So
I thought he was decent. I think the thing is, at the minute, Amorim's just trying to figure out who he really wants. I think for the next couple games, he's going to, test out the waters, test out all these different players. And then I reckon after Christmas, he's going to start to settle and find his starting 11. But he does anyway seems to be a manager who does, make the subs and switch around. And do you know what? I don't hate it. I would like to see a consistent team generally, but I do like to see, player rotation, obviously, prevents, more injuries from happening, I guess. And if we've got these matches in the week as well, it is good to rotate. So yeah, I don't mind it, to be fair. I don't know. What do you think? Do you?
Yeah, I'm a little bit old school, so I'm a little bit. Can you get a consistent team if you're making 6 changes a game? I think he's so clear about his philosophy in a way that Ten Hag wasn't, right? So it just changed from game to game. Systems, approaches, you just never knew. He didn't know. No one had any confidence in it. But Amorim's philosophy is so clear that I think he wants to get to the point. A bit like I'm just saying in the way that Pep uses his squad. He'll just drop players in and out. And really, the philosophy is the same every game, home, away, doesn't really matter. And I suspect Amorim will be like that in the end. I mean, we were quite defensive against Arsenal. I don't know that will be the case all the time, actually. With Sporting, certainly weren't. So I think that allows you to just drop players in and they should be comfortable. I mean, he's got the confidence, right? The whole back five changed their positions and just moved them all around. And in that first half, Arsenal, they were like super well structured. And you're like, oh, this is a team. We haven't seen this
I know.
We haven't seen this in forever.
Ages. Do you know what? I think in a way, I don't know, but one of the things that I did pick up from Ten Hag was he was so hesitant to make substitutions often. Like he would wait until I think he brought Ahmad on once in like the 91st minute and it was like plus 4 minutes. I just don't see the point in them kind of substitutions. So I actually do like that Amorim is, he's gonna, if he's making the subs, he's making them and he makes them early, which I do quite like. But yeah, the fact that he's just switching it around mid-game, I find it mad. But I mean, I think it's great. It's great to see. It's nice to see a manager who has a plan and clearly, wants to win the match and will do anything to win the match. Change the style if he needs to, change the players. I quite like it.
Look, he has the confidence in himself. He seems to really, yeah. And he's very clear. He said in one of the interviews after the game the other day, oh, maybe I'm saying too much. But he's been very, very clear in his communication about what he's talking about. But like just generally, he said, hey, it's easier to sort the defense out and it takes much more training time to build the patterns in the attacking third. And coming back to our sort of topic of Shaw and Yoro, I feel like they will benefit from like, okay, this is how we work in the build up from defense and our defending out of possession stuff, and this is how we're going to defend, and this is our structure, and it's really clear. And like Leny, if you're playing this week, this is what you do. Luke Shaw, I can't imagine they're thinking about him as a left wing back ever, really, just the physicality of that now. So it's like if he's fit, they'll drop him into the left side of defense if and when Martinez is injured, because he gets injured and suspended all the time, and it'll be some minutes till the end of the season, then we'll make decisions in the summer. And I feel like it'll benefit both of them, like to manage the minutes and manage the development in Yoro's case.
No, definitely. That's it. Just building this player up. And I think I've said it already, but I do think there's definitely a good player in Yoro. So like I said, I'm excited to see his journey at Manchester United, he's just getting started. So yeah, I like how he's going about it.
Very good. Yeah, I put my French shirt on today. Not like an Englishman wearing a French shirt. It's a disgrace head. But I bought this for Rafa Varane, and he's not quite the same as Rafa Varane. Perhaps not silky. Leny Yoro, definitely quicker. But we tried to get Rafa Varane when he was 18, 19. And obviously he went to Real Madrid, and instead we went off and bought Chris Smalling and Phil Jones. Didn't quite work out the same.
Similar players.
Yeah. Well, hey, to be fair, I mean, Chris Smalling was always a bit more agricultural, but Phil Jones, when he was 18, was like considered to be absolutely brilliant, and then he just couldn't stay fit. Rather like Luke Shaw. So, yeah, I mean, if Leny Yoro has half the career of Rafa Varane, then he'll have a fantastic career. And I don't see why not. He looks a really good prospect. I'm super excited about him. Obviously, like, massive fee, and he's on big wages for a young kid. So the expectation levels are there. And I think, I don't know how you feel. Like, I suspect everyone will look at him and go, well, it's a huge amount of money. It's a bit different than being an academy kid. you give them a bit of time, and the expensive players tend to come under pressure a bit more quickly.
It's I mean, it's a risk, putting this much pressure on a young player because, he's still probably got a lot of learning to do and he's got to prove himself for Manchester United, but so does any player. I mean, I try to not look at age. I'm looking at, individual players and how much we're spending on them, and, then I'll choose their performances. But yeah, no, we'll see how Yoro gets on. I'm excited.
Very good. Well, Amorim has no worries about playing young players. I mean, he had a 16-year-old on the bench at Arsenal, Kalkani.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And his sporting side were full of young kids. So, yeah, I have no worries about that. All right. I guess that's it. Luke Shaw we will not see on Saturday, sadly. Leny Yoro, we definitely will, whether it's from the start or on the bench. I'm sure we'll see some minutes from him. Good luck to him. Come on, United. We're back to 13th. It's not good. Look, come on. All right, Isabel, Talk About United is your channel. Thank you very much. Good to see you again, and I'll catch you soon. And everyone, thanks for listening. Bye now.